This is Max Hoskin from Max Esports, and we're at Red Bull Battlegrounds, New York, and I'm here with TotalBiscuit. Hello.
Hi there.
And I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So, what made you decide to start casting for StarCraft instead of creating shows for World of Warcraft?
Well, with World of Warcraft, it was never about competitive gaming, right? Because while WoW had a competitive scene of some description, it was never really to the point where people that didn't play World of Warcraft would actively say, I really want to go watch WoW esports, you know? It was more of a secondary component. It was always considered to be less important than the PvE aspect of the game. So there really wasn't an opportunity, and even if there was, it would have been difficult to do coverage in a direct way because WoW was never designed to be spectated. It's designed to be played. You can make first-person perspective videos, you can even zoom out a little bit, but there's no observer mode, you know, there's no scoreboards or anything like that you can actually use to make any real competitive kind of content, whereas StarCraft II is built like that from the ground up. And I'd been a real-time strategy fan ever since Dune 2 Battle for Arrakis. So we go all the way back as far as that, and we go all the way through Warcraft 2, Command and Conquer, and continue through Total Annihilation, just up until StarCraft 2. So for me, the opportunity to cover an RTS in a competitive manner was something I was very excited to do because I have a big background in liking to play those games in the first place.
Very cool. So, what made you decide to choose StarCraft instead of some other RTS?
The thing is that StarCraft has this rich competitive history, yeah? Whereas other real-time strategy, as much as I love Command and Conquer, it does have some competitive history, but versus Brood War in Korea, it's not even close. StarCraft 1 is the game that made esports. You know, it's the one that said, look, you could have an entire industry in this country based around this, and the players can be stars. There are other games like, say, Quake and Counter-Strike that did a fantastic job in the Western scene, but StarCraft Brood War really laid the groundwork in South Korea and showed just how big something can get. So for me, when it came down to choosing which RTS to cover from a competitive angle, there was really only one choice. It was the RTS that had proven it knew what it was doing.
All right, that's very good. So, I know that you're called TotalBiscuit, and why did you choose that name?
It was a terrible choice for me, and I've regretted it for a very long time. But it came from an author who I like very much by the name of Terry Pratchett, very famous in the UK. Hopefully, people watching this have actually read some of his books. He makes a rather hilarious, I would say, fantasy series by the name of Discworld. There's a book in that series called Carpe Jugulum, which was about vampires trying to fit into society, and at one point there was, I believe it was a Clatchian naming ceremony, where the baby would be named after the first sort of words that were spoken after a certain time, and one of those names ended up being TotalBiscuit as two words, but I decided just to mash it together into one word, and that just got shortened to TB, which then that turns out is a deadly disease, which so I really wasn't fully thinking it through when I started, but that was way before any of this happened, and I'm stuck with it now, so hey.
All right. So just one last question, who do you think will win it all?
Right now, SOS is looking absolutely untouchable. He really is. He gets to fight Scarlet in the round of 4, which I feel is a definite underdog match. Looking at SOS's play, it's immaculate. There are no mistakes. He doesn't look worried at any point. But if we see the SOS parting final, that I think we will, I think we're going to see him get a real run for his money. In the last, he hasn't really lost a best-of-3 series with the exception of losing to Trap. That's it. He has beaten Hero over and over again, 3-0, 4-0. He has been smashing his way through everyone. He's been put out in Pro League about 18 times, I believe, in a PvP matchup. He's won the vast majority of them. So if anyone could give SOS a run for his money, it will be parting, and that is what I would predict to be the finals.
All right, very cool. Thanks for your time. I'm Max Hoskin, Megna for Max Esports, and this is TotalBiscuit, signing off.